Okay. So Julia is going to share some nuggets. We just got off of a call with Jessica Heffley, and she's always got the best words of wisdom. I absolutely love her. And it makes sense because she's been doing this for a long time. And she's so gifted in coaching. And so Julia said that she was excited to start sharing. So I was like, wait, let's record. So
Okay, so there was multiple things that she said that stuck out with me, but some of the stuff towards the end that she was just really Michelle was struggling with just feeling like she just couldn't move past where she was. And she felt like she had to be perfect, and she couldn't figure out why it was she was struggling to move past where she was. So, if that makes sense. Anyways, they were trying to ask her what her purpose was. Like, what is your purpose? Is what they kept saying. What is your purpose? Like, what's a sentence that states your purpose here? And initially she was like, I don't know, like I'm not sure. And they're like, okay, well, let's think about that. And she finally got to where Michelle said, they're like, what's one thing that Plexus has really, like, these whole years, these 7 years, because Michelle had been in it for 7 years, and she's like, what's one thing that has really helped you, like, that Plexus has provided? And Michelle said, Plexus has brought me closer to Jesus than I've ever been before. And so Jessica was like, so what's your, oh, Teresa needs the passcode,
I got
Cassie.
it.
So Jessica was saying, and she said, and that makes me feel convicted that I should continue to share. And so Jessica was like, so what you're saying is you're convicted to continue to do this because you think this can bring people closer to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, huh, yeah. And I was just like, yes, like just that whole like idea of ministry and just that we talk about a lot. That was just like, oh, yes, that's exactly right. Like that is that is my why.
Yeah.
Like that right there, that is my why. I just,
Yeah.
uh,
And I think that this is something that we all need to do is inside of our business. Like, what are the 4 core beliefs that you want in your business? Like the 4 things that you really want to move in your business and you have, cultivate and things like that. Like I was talking to Carissa about this. So when she had said that, I literally had that conversation with Carissa today because I saw a reel and I sent it to Carissa. I was like, tell me your thoughts on this. And it was the No Shame Game girl, and I follow her. I don't know if you've seen this, but it was a reel and about how some people are bringing Christianity into network marketing, and we should be, inclusive, and which is completely fine, and that it might turn people off. And I was trying to get Carissa's feedback, and I had said I think differently. I feel like this is a huge ministry that if people know that we're a Christian and we're already bold about it, they shouldn't be turned away. Like they should know, like this is just how we do. We open with, prayer usually on team calls, or we might end in it with team calls, not all the time, but most often. Or if you need prayer, we're going to be helping you, things like that. And so that's my core value, is to bring people closer to Jesus. They might know him, but for me and our team, my goal is to bring them closer to him. And it was such a good thing when Michelle had said that, because I was like, it was right on point. Okay. Is there anything else that you loved that she talked about?
oh man, I love that Megan was giving scripture verses of how she gets her, like, to get her through things, like just when she's struggling mentally. We've talked a lot about this, Jen, is just pulling out scripture verses that God gives us. Like, what did she say? Was it Psalm 90? I cannot remember.
Usually Psalm 90 or 91 is a really good one.
Okay, I think
Mm-hmm.
it was Psalm 90 that she mentioned, and she said there was a time in her life where she felt like she just had so much on her plate and that she felt very overwhelmed. And I'm not talking specifically to you, Teresa, but
She's like, wait, what?
but like she was saying that she just felt that. And so she just started intentionally praying Psalm 90 over her day, and that would be over her business, and that God would multiply her time, that God would multiply her efforts, that God would multiply, like, all those different things. And I was just like, that's brilliant. Like that's because she's like, we all have the same amount of time in a day.
Right.
She's like, but I just felt like I had so much going on that was very hard for me to accept. But I knew that was up here. I knew that struggle was up here. And so she said she found, I think it was Psalm 90. Was it Psalm 90?
I'm looking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, anyways, it was one of those. And she said that she would just pray that to start her day, and that she would just intentionally pray that God would multiply her time, her efforts, and her her team, I think is what she said. Like she just would pray that God would build, oh, that's what it was, that God would bring the people to her, business builders and customers that were supposed to be doing this, or that she was supposed to minister to through this. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I'd like to know which one she was reading.
Oh, Cassie's asking.
Yeah, I'm going to ask because 91 kind of seems like it, but well, I'll find out. But it's so true because we all can get into overwhelm, but that's also Satan allowing us to stay in overwhelm. I have been, I mean, in my business, there's plenty of times I get into overwhelm, but it's what we do in that moment to really step back and be like, okay, what is triggering me right now? The best thing that I have ever done is written everything out. And what's causing me to overwhelm? What's causing this right now? And I write down everything that I feel like I have to get done. And then I highlight the top one that I've got to get done. Like that's an ASAP thing, like buy groceries. I'm out of milk. You know what I mean? Like something that's important. We've got to get done. And then the rest kind of falls. And then I feel like, okay, that can wait for another day. Okay, wait, that can wait for another day. Well, wait, this can wait for a week. I can just make sure that it's on here so I can get back to it. And once I do those steps, Mel Robbins is my favorite to follow for overwhelm. She has really great mindset tips and tricks. She's got a YouTube. It's like 5 minutes long. And she says something about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You just do it. You just do whatever you need to get done. Take 5 minutes of your pity party, 5 minutes timer. Just get that one thing done. You need to get done. And then it feels better. And then you have that calm that rests over you again. And so that's huge. So whenever you guys feel an overwhelm, because all of us are going to, and you might be in it now, do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, write stuff down and figure out what you need to get done right now. And then the rest can fall like for another time.
Yeah.
See, Therese is already doing it. Good job.
I think Jessica Heffley said, overwhelm is Satan's way of keeping us stuck and not moving forward into what God wants us to do. And that was really powerful because I was like, oh gosh, ain't that the truth? Like a lot of it, just in general, not even just with Plexus, like when I feel overwhelmed in life, like a lot of times it's when I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something purposeful, and it's him keeping us from that. So that was really good.
Agree. I love those little coaching calls because I feel like we all can take something away. And so hopefully when we get the recording, if we're allowed to share it, we'll let you guys see it. But the nice
I know I got kicked off.
I know, I'm sorry. Hey, it's okay. But listen, the beauty of it though, is that it is something you can look forward to, because there was times that I'm like, wait, what? I can't be on that call. Wait, what? And it's just those things and steps that happen to make you feel like, I earned this. Like I got to this point to earn this call. Jessica Heffley, to take her time out, like that's huge. And so I can't wait for you guys to see the recording, if we can get that. So that's still good.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Anything else on that call you wanted to share? Joya? No?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right. So really quick, I wanted to see what your intention or what you did for your business today. Everybody, what did you do? One thing for your business today.
Like tell you or type it?
Tell us, girl. You're already talking. Bring it.
Okay. Let's see. I thought of my 5 to 10 people to sell to or get in the business, and I've been praying for them. And then I did my post that Julia told me to do. I hope I did a good job, Julia.
I'm sure it was perfect. I'm proud of you. Good job.
That's it today.
That's good. That's a lot. So on your list, have you reached out to any of them or no?
I have not today, but
Over time.
I have reached out to them. I just didn't reach out to them today.
Nope,
Yeah.
you're okay. You're okay.
Waiting for Julia to tell me what to do next. we're in a what is that you started for me?
Your guys' accountability thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growth.
So, I do
thread.
what she tells me.
Hey, that's good. That's
I
leadership.
love you for that.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yep. Well, that just shows that you're ready and willing to grow. When you are open to coaching and you're open to hearing like, hey, whatever you got for me, Julia, tell me. Then the next step is once you start getting a rhythm of what to do, you'll be able to start doing stuff on your own, because that's the beauty of this. We're supposed to start doing,
Yeah.
and sharing tips and tricks and doing those things, because that's how leadership works. So, okay. Who's next? What is one thing you did for your business today?
I sent out my 20 messages today.
Good
Which is,
job.
yeah, it's
Jen.
pretty big for me because I have a hard time doing that.
Hey,
You
I'm
did
proud of you.
amazing. So proud of you.
How did they
Yeah, and
go?
they've
Did they
been
go good?
Well, they've all been no responses or no's.
Yeah. And that's
Or not right now.
Ah.
then not right now are the best.
Mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I've been sending out cold messages and follow-up messages and just personal relationship messages. I've been kind of combining them all.
Yeah. And I think that's
Good.
good. And don't
Yeah.
do too coldy. You know what I mean? Like, not to people that you don't know. But
Right.
on the not right now, so I wrote that down so I could follow up with it. On those, the best part is when you get this book, it's going to really tell you things to follow up with, things like that. It's like, oh, really? Why? What's going on? It'll prompt you. Well, what did I do? What are you laughing about? I didn't freeze or anything, did I? I have fiber
No.
internet now. I should not
love it.
freeze.
I was laughing at Jen because she
Oh.
only reached out to one person she didn't really know.
Oh, that's
Did know her, but
yes. That was pretty funny.
that was
Christina.
hilarious.
Christina.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I love it. I
Well,
love
She
it.
must have loved what you said. I'm so
You
curious
did.
what you said.
Uh-huh.
I'll send it to you, Teresa.
Okay.
I love it.
And I'll send it on to somebody else.
There you
Oh,
go.
There you go.
I got it from Cassie.
I love
From
messages,
the
but
leader.
but always make them your own, because the one thing that I had, so
Yes.
I had a leader, not a leader. I put it in our chat. This is why I taproot. So taproot would be like, let's say Julia falls off and she leaves me, which she never will. But let's say she falls off and I never got to know Jerisa or Jennifer, then they might not ever be on these calls and I might not get to cultivate that relationship, right? So I did have a leader a long time ago. I'm saying like 5 or 6 years ago when I first started, leave, and I got to know her person. And so I just tapped back into her and just, acknowledged her and whatever. And she's like, Cassie, this is so weird. You're so consistent. Like every year or every now and then, you're always just checking in on me. And I was actually thinking of coming back and possibly doing, Plexus. And I said, oh, really? Let's get on a Zoom. So I got on a Zoom, and her biggest thing was that she can tell, and she doesn't want to be this person when it's a copy and paste message, because she gets it from Cincy's and other companies. And she said, you just know, and I don't want to be that girl or that person. And so just make sure when you are reaching out, don't let it stop you and not reaching out, but just make sure it's your own, because people they're going to know when it's not Jennifer, Jerisa, or Julia, or Shauna. They're gonna be like, this is something that Cassie made her do, or whoever her upline is. So that's why I like voice messages, because then they can hear your voice. You can get an idea of what the message needs to say, but then voice message. And you guys know my favorite is the video, because I feel like when people see you, it's almost like FaceTime, but it's not. So that's just why I like sending the video ones, because the best, like Genevieve's training, she always says, get on a phone call. And I will be honest, phone calls are so hard for me. They just really are, because it takes a lot of time. It really does. And to then get the schedule where they can get on a phone call and all the things. So I love the other options that are second best, which is a Zoom call. Get them on a Zoom, get them like this. or voice message or video message. The last thing you should be doing is a typed message. The best that you can. You should lessen that. But I'm proud of you. I don't know where I was going with that, but it was just a reminder that popped up.
Well, just the fact that I'd used yours and to make it my own, to
Oh,
make
yes,
sure
yes,
to make it our own.
yes.
I
And
think
a
it's
lot
the
of,
one,
go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, isn't it the one that Genevieve gave you and then Jennifer shared that, right?
Oh, probably. And that's the nice
Okay.
thing. Like we all, when I first started, if I didn't have some kind of guidance, I would have not known what the heck I was doing. Like all of us need guidance. We just do. We don't know. We've never been in this kind of industry. I never was. And so I didn't know how that looked or what a message looked like to reach out, or how do I talk about the business? I don't even know about the business. What do I do? And so it is nice to have that guideline, but just be real and authentic and be like, hey, I'm working this because I need income from home and I would love to work alongside of you. And so would you love to just be open to hearing more about what I'm doing? Because I think you would be a killer at it. You don't have to know all the ins and outs. And then I think the biggest hang up is when people are like, yeah, tell me more. We don't know what to do next, right? You're like, so, right? And I'm going to come back to that. Let me write that down because I want to get everybody else's,
I went to breakfast. Well, I didn't really go to breakfast. We went to coffee, but neither of us really had coffee. But anyways, with a friend that has had interest in the business. And so we sat down and talked for a while, and she thinks she's very interested. She's very intrigued. Just not something she's ready to do quite yet. So, but that was good.
Yep, that's huge. Well, and so that's the step. You invite them to the very next thing. And so that was, she invited her to have a personal conversation and a personal, something in person for that. So, and I think that that's huge to do if you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, who else? Business. What did you do for your business today?
Ooh, and I mean, yesterday, but I've been grouping people in threads who have similar goals. And
Mhm.
so I have been starting to connect with specific people and just say, hey, you open to this, hey, you open to that, and then grouping them together and creating little communities and trying to grow my skills as well.
And you're doing great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shauna made an amazing post. I'll talk about her. I'll act like she's talking. So I have Shauna in a thread because she's already added one, or wait, I can't remember, Shauna. You'll have to type in the chat. She has several interested, like several ready. So that girl's going to be silver this week. It's just going to happen. But I have her and a couple of others grouped in a chat. So when you guys have people that are interested and ready around the same time, the best thing to do is, if they're okay with it, you want to ask them first. If they're okay with it, pulling them into a thread, it builds community. They get to know each other. And then you have small daily tasks or every other day for them to do. And that is more like, hey, today post about what struggles you have and what you're excited to, get to feeling better with. Or, hey, here's a call I want you to listen to. This happened, the community huddle happened yesterday. Here's the recording. Little stuff like that, so they can then grow. And so Shauna did a really great post today. I didn't even help her with. So it was great. It was on ease. So if you aren't friends with Shauna, she's awesome and you should go check her post out. It was wonderful. Okay. She has to wake up early too, just like a lot of Jennifer, same. And so I'm proud that she's on. Okay, so a couple things I wanted to touch base really quick. Julia, I'm waiting for a second. It's okay. Okay, so the thing I want to talk about is I posted in our business chat. What is the two-step conversation? Who wants to take that away besides Julia? What is the two-step conversation? It was a graphic that I posted in the chat today. You can go back and look if you need to really fast. Now, Shauna, you probably wouldn't see that yet, so don't worry. but I've already talked to Shauna about this, so. And I'll bring it up here in a second.
To pride yourself in being able to teach people
Uh-huh.
how to help get their products paid for.
Yes. Ding, ding,
Okay.
ding. So every single time you have somebody ready to order, that should be the next, that's your second part conversation. It's like, hey, okay, I'm excited that you got your products, but I want you to have the best success possible, because here's our problem on our team. I feel like we're in it just for the sale. I'm speaking to myself too, because I'm every now and then I fall in it. We're ready. And we're like, oh my gosh, they're ready to order. And then we forget to really set them up for success by telling them everything. And we wait to have that conversation until after they've ordered. And so the best thing to do is when they're ordering, say, hey, I will let you know that most people fall off because of finances. And so I want you to know that I pride myself in helping every single person get their products covered. And so if we need to have that conversation, please let me, or be open to allowing me to help you with that. Or, hey, can we have that conversation now? Are you open to hearing more about that now? Having that right up at the front, it puts them in their mind so that when finances do come and here comes their second month and now their subscription's out and they're freaking out because maybe we forgot to tell them about the subscription too. You've already had that conversation. So that's the other thing that I wrote down is during the sign up process, we should really not sign people that are not committed. Let's just be honest. Every single person should be committed to 60 to 90 days. If they're not, this is not for them. It's not. Plexus is not for them, because we all know Plexus takes a while to see results because we're working from the inside out. If they're wanting a quick fix, I have so gotten to where I'm like, Shauna, I just don't know if this is going to be a great fit for you. You know, when you're ready, when you're so ready to actually see lifelong results, and I know it sounds harsh, but then I'll be here for you. But I want you to have success, and my time and my, you know, what I'm going to put into you is going to take, like, I'm going to give that to you for a while, 60 to 90 days and beyond. And because I want this success, because you said you wanted all of these things, you have tummy issues and everything, and that's just not going to be done in 30 days. And so that's why we do the subscription, so that your products don't run out. And Plexus even offers you a perks program. Talk about the perks program. Who knows how much money people get when they keep their subscription on as they join? Who knows? How much money? So when you have a subscription on, every single person, when they sign up with a welcome pack, they get how much money?
$25.
If you didn't know that, now you do. So let's say I sign up.
250 points, $25.
Correct. And so when Julia signs up and I sign her up with a welcome pack, she's going to get 250 points, which is $25 towards product. Now, the moment she cancels that, she loses it. She has 3 days. And that's why it's really good to check your Plexus perks often, because every 3 days, people might be turning them off. And if you're not catching it, they don't know what Plexus perks is. They might not understand any of that. And so that's another thing we have to get better at is subscriptions. We have people falling off on their second to third month. I got a report, people are done in their second month. And it's because they're scared. They see the subscription process, because we're setting them up for failure and saying, oh, it's okay, don't worry, you can cancel it. Or, oh, it's okay, don't worry, you can just push it out. It's fine. And we have to just be that coach and be like, no, friend, if you're going to be pushing out your subscription, maybe this isn't for you. Or, you know, if you need to cancel that subscription, maybe we need to have a deeper talk. What's going on? You know, remember that conversation we talked about of helping get your products covered? Is that something we need to talk about? Things like that.
The one thing I will say to that too, Cass, is that I know sometimes that's really hard to get into our own minds. It automatically, if you're anything like me, it puts up kind of like a, oh, like, I don't want to say that to people. Like, but keep in mind, you are trying to, number one, help them reach their goals. I see you, Olivia. You're trying, I saw her over there.
Oh,
You're trying to help them reach their goals. And you know this works. You know these products work.
right.
So if we want them to know that they work too, basically when they sign up to do their subscription, they're basically hiring you to help them remember, she's here to help me remember that I am in this to fix this for the long haul. It's not a quick fix. I've said, yes, we're going to give this time. So it's not necessarily that you are being mean to them, because I feel like sometimes it's like, I don't want to tell them that, but you're also saying, listen, we talked about this. This isn't something that fixes right away. And if you just automatically go ahead and cancel, like, you're just giving up on yourself. And how does that make you feel? You gotta, we have to be able to coach them a little bit.
Yeah. As hard as that can be, think of it. If you go to a gym and
Mhm.
you're paying somebody to beat you up literally, or get you to where you want to be and be toned or get some abs or lose a muffin top, right? You want somebody to be more harsh with you, not in a mean way, but in a way like, hey, you wanted me to be accountable to you, right, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to make sure that that communication is open, because if you want me to be that for you, I'm happy to do that. But if now's not the right time, I will be here when you're ready, you know? And so just having that open communication and that door open is where we've got to be. The other thing is, if this is why I'm going to be big on this one too, if people sign up for Pivotal, they jump up in staying committed and subscriptions and everything to like 400%. 400%. If they join Pivotal, they even add more products to their subscription. So this is why we've got to literally not forget to tell people about, Plexus has hired, you guys, Plexus has hired a top in this industry nutritionalist to help train everybody in Plexus coming in how to eat better, how to eat cleaner. Here's meals, here's grocery lists, right at your fingertips to print out and go shop with. Here is workouts so you can have at your fingertips for, days that you are home or whatever. They hired a top fitness guru for the same thing, that's certified and everything. And I feel like we're not using it to its highest advantage. I mean, a lot of other companies, I won't name them, that's what they do and sell, is just workouts and stuff, right? And so here we are, we're offering everything, but yet they don't have to pay an extra membership to get that. That's huge. And so when they sign up as Pivotal, have them join Pivotal, the plexuspivotal.com. When they log in, it signs them up. They get 12 weeks for free. And then they have to re-sign up every 12 weeks, because it shows Plexus, you're interested. Okay, you're wanting this information. The other thing is that have them join the Plexus Pivotal Facebook page too. There is amazing community happening in there. If you're not in on that Facebook page, I'm seeing so many posts from brand new people that are posting inside of it. They're like, oh my gosh, I just did my first reset and I'm loving how I'm feeling. Or, hey, hashtag, and if you didn't know about the hashtag small wins, they're doing giveaways with that. So encourage your brand new people to, when they post hashtag small wins, because then they're going to be entered into a Plexus giveaway, because why not? Plexus is giving us everything. And it's like hashtag, I walked farther today and I parked farther away from my work. Little stuff like that. We're really trying to cultivate a lifelong health journey in Plexus versus quick fixes the beginning of the year. So going to go back, 2-step conversation, making sure before or even as they're signing up, you're having that financial conversation with them. Pivotal, making sure they know about Pivotal and signing up for that. They have their subscription on and they know that they earn $25 by keeping it on, and that they know if they cancel, they lose that. But honestly, it wouldn't mention that just yet. I would just say, be committed 60 to 90 days. Okay. The next thing, when somebody says, yes, Jennifer, tell me how I can get my products paid for, what is the very next thing you could invite them to?
I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Welcome to Plexus.
Yes. Yes.
I had to think about it for a second.
Hey, but you got it. Every what?
Every week.
Yeah. Do you know when?
Mondays. Wednesdays.
There you go.
Thanks,
I love
Julia.
Every single Wednesday, we should be inviting our brand new people. And how I say it is like, hey, Teresa, guess what? There is a call just for you on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Can I send you that link? Plexus wants to honor you because you just, you're on your health journey and I don't want you to miss this call. It's just for you. And so making sure that they're on that live as much as possible. If they can't, you can send them the recording. Does
That's
anybody?
what
Go ahead.
that's just what I was getting ready to ask, because we have church on Wednesdays
I
and it's
know.
like really a busy night. So
Yep, same. And because the time difference, it definitely helped it being at 6 now versus 7, because I could never watch the 7 o'clock because we're in church at that time. And
mhm.
same for everybody else. And so right now it's 6 o'clock. And so it's usually only 15, 20 minutes. So if people can, I usually say, hey, grab it while you're on your way to church, or watch while you're on your way to church, or whatever. But there is a recording. And so the next question is, where do you find past recordings of training? Does anybody know?
It's on our dashboard somewhere, isn't it?
Hmm.
When you log in and go under dashboard, it is. Are you going to show us?
I'm going to show you because I have 100 million tabs open. Okay. Literally. Okay. So see this red box that we probably ignore right here? View training calendar. Click. Okay. Click here for recording links from previous webinars. Click. There you go. All the recordings.
Before you take it off of that,
Uh-huh.
I just want everybody to see that she was not lying. Look at all her tabs. Look at all her tabs. This
I'm
is
being
how
honest.
this is how Cassie's brain compartmentalizes.
Yep. This is how, if I have a tab open, it's because it is a recording that I've wanted to watch and I haven't been able to yet. And so it's up because Carissa sent it to me, or Jessica Heffley sent it to me, or, when I get the boots, these are some of the boots that I want to look at when I do my, or like, posting old calls. I can close those.
So can I ask real quick? You just showed us those videos.
Yep.
The old videos. Can we send those from there?
Yep. So watch this. If I'm going to click on, so welcome to Plexus right here. This was January 25th. So last week's call. I click on that. There's the recording. I would just copy this right here and then send it. And they'll get this, it'll look just like this for them.
Awesome.
So just copy, paste.
And also, by the way, I loved your dance video.
The one just now in my robe.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks. My friend, I love her, the one that I was doing it with. She's in Plexus, and she had said, she's like, Cassie, I'm just so inspired by your reels, like a year ago. And now she's like rocking every single one. So when I saw that she was in her robe, I was like, perfect timing. So anyway, thank you.
That was great.
Okay, so now you know where to find those and locate the Welcome to Plexus call. So the biggest thing is when people are interested in learning more about the business is inviting them to the very next thing, or to send them a recording. If not, if you haven't done those, or you've done that and now the next thing, I would put them in a 3-way with your sponsor. So like, Jennifer Teresa, be like, hey, I want you to get to know Julia. She's been doing it a little bit longer, and let's chat with her. I would also send them, I wouldn't do the comp plan just yet. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great. All they need to know is they need to add 3 people, and it's about $300. But you also have to talk about all of the steps with them, because if you're having these people not have those conversations right off the bat with their people too, you're going to have a team that just keeps falling off. Does that make sense? So when if you're training them, you've got to have the 2-part conversation. You've got to invite them to the Welcome to Plexus calls, invite them to Plexus Pivotal. Those steps, I promise you, it'll start being engraved in your head, and you'll know when everything happens. Then they'll be doing that. And then you won't have a team falling off every single month. And the nice thing with brand new people is I always tell them, you want 3 every single month. Like continue, because people are going to fall off. You really want to add 3 every single month. So,
Well, I mean, even in your Genevieve coaching group, you have to add 3 people every single month. She's trying to get you into that repetition.
yeah.
I was going to mention on Tammy's call the other day that Tammy did for us. Tamara
Mhm.
Holloway.
Tamara Holloway. Mhm.
Tamara Holloway. She's also a diamond, and she was saying that because she doesn't like telling people she's going to connect them in a 3-way, she basically says, this is my friend. She's been doing this a lot longer, so she has a lot more information. I would love to connect you so that she can help answer any questions that maybe I can't. And if you think about it, though you and I and you, me, Jen, Teresa, all of you, we've been doing it for a year now. That doesn't mean that we should know everything.
Right.
That alone is duplicatable.
Yep.
You're teaching your people that even though you've been in it for a year, you don't have to know everything.
Mm-mm.
And so you're saying, I have a friend. If it's okay with you, I'm going to connect us with her so that she can answer that question for you, because I don't necessarily know it.
Right.
Even if it is a question that you may know, I would still utilize that as an opportunity to connect them with me or Cassie or something like that, so that they have that reference. Because really, like Jerisa, with some of your people that when they first signed up, I still connect with them sometimes because you connected us in a 3-way. And so there'll be times where, I'll just send them a message and check in on them. Or there's sometimes where maybe somebody, Jennifer, that you've had has connected with me and said, hey, I just have a question. I saw something on your page and it made me think about it, just so it's good to really have that reference and to be able to build that community. So then if there's something that happens and you guys are busy or whatnot, they have somebody else to go to,
Yep.
So those are always good. But I like the way that she said that. She's like,
Friend.
mentioning the 3-way thing to her just seemed too salesy. And so she just liked to utilize it as a friend of hers that's been doing this for a long time and has more knowledge than she does, and kind of use that.
Yeah, hands down. And I think that's the thing, is we've got to get the business part out of that, where it's like, oh, this is my upline, or this is my sponsor. They don't know any of that. That's like Plexus lingo. They don't need to. It's literally, this is my friend Julia, or this is my friend Cassie, or whoever. And sometimes like never not utilize your sideline peoples. And sideline, Shauna, is like everybody on this call for you. So, I mean, if somebody's a nurse and you're like, hey, Julia, can I connect you with Joy, with this person I'm chatting with, because I feel like you guys are in the same medical field and whatever. Or if you're like, hey, Cassie, there's somebody with endometriosis, can you help? Utilize our team. That's the beauty of our team, is we are one Plexus in that. And so you can definitely put us in a 3-way with whoever you feel is best for that conversation.
Well, and I would say too, that's why it's important to know each other's testimonies.
Yep.
Because like whenever I have somebody who's struggling or has a kid struggling, I connect them with Hannah, because Hannah had her daughter on this at a young age.
Yeah.
Whenever I have somebody who has bowel issues, I connect them with Shara, because I know Shara has a very personal testimony with ulcerative colitis. So it's important to get to kind of know the different testimonies and the people, so that you can utilize them for specific, so they can really connect with that person, and that person won't feel like they're alone, and that you don't know how they're feeling because you've never been through it. So.
Yeah. Okay. Do y'all have any questions so far? No? Shauna? She might be asleep. Who knows? I'm kidding. Okay. Well, this was really good community chat. I never know. No, not that I can think of. Okay, good. Never know who's going to come on, but I'm so glad that we, spoke a lot of this. This is good duplication that we can start having as a community and start, moving and grooving. I'm about to post it here in a minute. We're going to be updating our faith thread. And so know that there's going to be a message coming in our chat here in a second. It's going to be good things. But I want you to know too. Now, Shauna, this is not for you. Love you, but not for you yet. I have you in another thread right now. but this is for leaders. We're going to be updating our thread and in a good way. And so just know that that's coming, and just put on the poll. I'm going to do a poll, whether you're ready or not or whatever, but pretty much our thread is going to be revamped, where I'm going to start a whole new thread. And that thread is going to just be, people that are ready in this business where you're at right now. And again, it's completely okay if you're like, Cassie, I need a slower pace right now. Totally fine. This thread is going to be for your goals, and you're like, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to just get things going, and I'm going to hold you accountable like a trainer. Like if you're like, okay, and I know, Jennifer, but I feel like I'm doing a disservice in that thread lately, because you guys have all said, I want this, this, and this, and I haven't been holding you accountable to that. And, being able to be that person for you and be like, okay, wait, what happened? What can I help you with? Because you said last month you wanted gold. Let's look at maybe some of your conversations, or I'm going to dive in and really try to help you, or your sponsor, Julia, or whoever. We're going to really help you hit those goals. And so that's what this thread is going to do. This new one, I'm going to be doing fun giveaways and things like that, and daily tasks, so that you're in it kind of like me. Like, I'm in a super high quality thread with Genevieve, and Genevieve just got a huge promotion in the company. So FYI, she's like now CFO and whatever. She's got huge promotion, and I have to add 3 people a month. Let me tell you, if you want a trainer that gets you to work, that's her. And I kind of want to be that for y'all if you're ready. And so for me, I was ready for that kind of training, because I want my business to go far this year, not sit. Like I'm ready. I'm so ready. And I want, if you guys are ready, that's where this thread's going to go. Not to say you have to add 3 people a month. I have to. I get kicked out of my group if I do not add 3 people a month. That's how high quality it is. So when you get information from me, it's because I'm doing the work. I'm doing everything that I'm telling you to do. But I'm going to put it at your level and where you're at, not where I'm like, Jennifer, you didn't add 3. Sorry, you're out of the group. We're not going to be doing that. But it's definitely going to be a higher caliber. So know that is going to be coming here in just a second. And it's not to exclude anybody. It's just, that's just where our team is going. That's just the pace where it's at. And if you're not there, it is okay. Go ahead, Julia.
I was just going to say, it's also not to scare you.
No.
Because, well, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying sometimes when people think of accountability, it automatically kind of exhibits fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to know, it's not to scare you. It's to try to help you get to where you want to go. And we know that with each of you, and I'm assuming Cassie with Shauna too, we've had conversations, and we know that you guys feel this as a blessing, and you see this as an opportunity to be a huge ministry. And we want to help lift you to that point. And so that is definitely something that we've all had those conversations. So we know where your heart is, and we want to help you get there. And sometimes that takes working here, which is really what a lot of what she's saying is. It's a lot in between here. It has nothing to do with what you're actually capable of, because you're capable of all of it. It's getting past the mental blocks that a lot of us have, me included, 100%.
Yeah. And a lot of it'll be like, okay, are you guys, what are you reading right now? Or what's the latest podcast you listen to? Or, hey, this is what's in my ear right now, to kind of help you so that you're not searching on your own or trying to figure that out too, but at least you'll have guidance on what to do. Because if you're not working this and what's in between, like she said, then everything will trigger you and it'll stop. You'll stop everything you're doing, because Satan will have control. And so that was another powerful thing that I have done since day one, is I hate reading, still don't care for it. But I know that to get me to where I need to go, I have to read, whether it's Audible or listening to something or whatever. To get to a certain point, I need to be developing myself. And so that'll be another thing in that thread of like, okay, guys, here's the book club for this month. So we're doing the prayer. I always get it wrong. Prayer powered entrepreneur. Yeah. Like, it's coming. We're doing a book study with that right now. And I'm doing it with the person that told me to read it. I said, hey, because she said, I'm going to be doing a book study with my team at the end of this month. And I'm like, wait. we already talked about doing one. What if we just did it together? And so I thought it'd be great to have community. And so we are just doing it in a page. And so just order your book if you want to do that book with us. If not, I would highly recommend getting the Exactly What to Say book, or, I mean, still get this one. Let's just be honest, get this one because I still go to it every single day. But the other one he's doing this month, same author, is Exactly How to Sell. And so that's our book club with Plexus every single month. These book clubs are open to everybody, not even in Plexus. So please utilize these. If you know people in other companies, this could be something that they could see that we offer. And so it's another great avenue to share with them. But always learning, always finding something you can dive into to really grow to what God provided you with. And that's the thread goal, is that we're going to be utilizing this as our ministry and what God has already given us, and really, really walking more into that. So that's where that's going. Okay. Any other questions? All righty. Well, I'm proud of you guys for coming on. I'm going to take a picture of y'all and show all these beautiful people that popped on. And cannot wait. We are going to, every now and then I'll offer some power hours, and I might encourage you guys to start creating your own little power hours too, so that we can all attend. We'll see. Okay. I love you guys, and I will talk to y'all later. Proud of y'all.
Night.
Good night.